Hi everyone, welcome. I'm here in Australia, Cootamundra, Outback, Outback Australia, so welcome. I'm here, those of you who haven't watched the show before, it's Mediumship Uncovered, so I do a reading every week and I answer also spiritual questions, sometimes questions with the audience as well that I've been sent. So today we're going to cover a few different areas. I'm also going to do a reading, so it's all very exciting. I've also got a message for Lisa. Now, Lisa, they're talking about this has not gone the way that it should have because it's time for you to step up. So it's time for you to actually do what you needed to do for yourself. So they're talking about you editing your own books, and where you've paid someone else to do it, and which it's time for you to step up and do the work yourself. You're very good at it, so just trust in the process, and I'm seeing it being a success. Okay, now we have someone with us. So Michelle from the US. I'm not sure. Michigan. Yeah. Okay, I'm not very good with with pronouncing something, especially when I have spirit head. So how are you, Michelle? Welcome.
I'm good. How are you?
Good, I'm good. So how I work is I communicate directly with spirit. You can ask any area that you'd like me to touch on, or you can also ask for someone in particular. So I'm straight away getting, is there an issue with your father at the moment? Is he on the other side, or is there health issues with him?
No, as far as I know, there's not. He's still here.
Okay, because they're talking about, because what I'm getting is I'm getting I straight away had a father coming through, and he was talking about your father, and I feel like this was your father's father, if that makes sense, and where there was a lot of health issues. Yeah, and he's talking about where there was a lot of health issues with him before he passed, if that makes sense, and where he needed a lot of care. Yeah, and he's saying he's around your father, and he's talking about you now, and he's actually now. Are you traveling for work?
No, I'm not.
Because he's talking about something to do with travel and hold-ups around this at the moment, and I feel like this is to do with work. So have you been having issues with your job?
Not necessarily. I mean, I've been struggling a little bit more because I've had a lot going on in my personal life, but nothing like problematic.
Yeah, okay. Are you traveling with your personal life or needing to go away or move? Because they're talking about needing to make a big change. I'm going to go back to your work because he's just taking me back to that, and he's talking about there's going to be a situation where you're going to get to travel for work, and there's going to be a really big opportunity with this. Okay, now he's also talking about where is there something to do with legal paperwork at the moment? And an ending of a situation where there's been hold-ups. And I don't know if this is an ending of a relationship. Does that make sense?
It is. I just finished a divorce. Yep.
Yeah, and he's going, yay! It's like time to move on. Does that make sense? But there's still hold-ups with this paperwork, but it's just about to end. It's just about to come to an end. So just keep pushing. And has this come to an end already? Because I feel like you've got to still really put your foot down, because there's someone trying to control the situation, and where you've got to kind of play their game. Does that make sense?
Yep. It absolutely does. Yep.
Yeah,
I'm waiting on my equity. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I do feel like it will come in your favour, but you've had to play hardball, or you still have to play hardball with this. And he's saying stick with it. It's like you're not usually that kind of person. Does that make sense? But sometimes we have to become that person to be able to win the battle that we're fighting. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm seeing this coming in your favour. They just want you to know that you're also going to get a promotion with work. You're also going to be able to travel with this new position as well. So, okay, I hope that helps, love.
Yes, that's very helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for listening to my show. So I'll see you later.
Thank you so much.
Okay. That's okay. Bye. Okay, anyone who would ever like a reading from me, you can actually book on medium.donnayoung.com. So I upload new times every week because I book out like sometimes months in advance. So I try to keep it going, so where so no one really misses out, and urgent people can kind of book in straight away. So okay, so I've got a spiritual question today, so let's have a look. So how do we know when spirit is around us? So there's so many different ways that we can know that they're there. So one is smell. So sometimes we might smell the grandfather come in, and you can smell the cigarette, or if they were a drinker, you can smell the alcohol. You may smell grandmother's perfume or hairspray. I know when my grandmother comes in, I can smell the hairspray that she used to use. So, and I really loved that smell. And I've tried to wear it, but it just doesn't seem right when I wear it. So I just leave that smell for her. And there's other, I know before I'm going to do a show, or before I'm going to do a platform at a church or anything like that, I'm a little bit of a scaredy cat. I really don't like getting on stage, and I really don't like being in front of heaps of people, but I have just been guided and pushed out there by spirit to do this kind of thing. So I really need to trust spirit all the time, because I'm a real scaredy cat otherwise, and they need to show me all the time and reinforce that I'm okay. And I know before shows and before platforms, what they've done for me before is where I remember one day my partner and I were standing at the window in the kitchen, and I was about to do a platform at a spiritual church, and there was all these little sparrows, hundreds, maybe even 1,000 of them flying around in a circle. And that's been happening to me for years, but it was the first time my partner had that experience, and he's like, oh my God, it's like birds, how scary. And I said, no, it's not scary at all. It's spirit actually letting me know that they're there, they're supporting me, they're for me not to worry. So there's usually when spirit comes, and especially if they show you something quite extraordinary with animals, or it could be the sky, it could be anything like that, that's where spirit's involved. Also, another thing with me is lady beetles. And when I met my partner, I remember something got broken on the floor, and I went to clean it up. And I picked up a lady beetle off the floor, and I walked outside, and I said to my partner, look, and we'd not long started going out, and I said, look at the lady beetle. And the lady beetle flew and landed on his shoulder. So that showed me that he was the one. So they show us in amazing ways at times. So it's just about trusting. Sometimes we may see spirit or feel them, see them in the corner of our eye. We might feel them around. There's also where you may be sitting in bed or sitting on a lounge and see the lounge or the bed move next to you. So I know we used to go to a music meditation out I think it was in Dural, and this was like with a beautiful man called Mark. Anyway, what we used to do is we used to go there, and my wolf, I've got a wolf, he's actually behind me in the picture up there, and he's always been around me. So when I was younger, I used to jog a lot, and he'd be right next to me jogging, and he'd look after me. Always, and he's still around me all the time, but he also looks after my partner. And I remember we'd go this meditation, and I could see him, he'd sit on his bed because we'd all lay down on a mattress, and he'd sit on this mattress near his feet. And he got up to go to the toilet one day, and all the people around me, I was actually talking about my wolf and how it was sitting on the end of his bed. And when Matt stood up and went to the toilet, you could see the mattress move, and the wolf went after him. So it's just, you just need to be aware, and you can see so much more when you're just aware, you're open to it. And what we see and what Spirit will show us is usually in line with our belief system. So if you believe that you can't see and you'll never see, then chances are you never will. So when we're first opening up, and when we're first coming into our spiritual growth, and some of us start quite late, Spirit will be quite harsh with us and hard, and to be able to show us what we need to see. So just always trust and know, and if you're not seeing or hearing, you can always ask Spirit too, can you please show me things a little bit more clearer? Can you please show me what I need to know? So just know that they're always around us, they're always with us. All we have to do is ask. So, and keep check of your belief system. So I'm going to be live on a new application shortly. It's a spiritual hub that will be all over the world. It's called Magic Gift, MAJIK, gift.com. It'll be live in the next week, so keep your eyes out for that. I'll be posting on my Facebook page, which is Medium Donna Young. So just keep an eye out for that. But thank you for having me. Keep tuned to my show. Every week it's a little bit different. It always is when we work with Spirit, because I just trust Spirit. I don't really write anything down, only notes where I've been asked a question or whatever through the week, but I just do things solo, and I just trust Spirit. So, and they always they look after me, and they never let me down. So remember, you can book readings at mediumdonnayoung.com. You can always have a look on there. I've got 15 minutes or half an hour, but my readings are also guided with time with Spirit as well. So have a great weekend. In Australia, it's Anzac Day this weekend, so for all the people who've been lost in the wars and everything, have a great and a safe long weekend, and I'll see you all soon. See you guys. Bye.